the past story. So
Wow.
how do you leave the past story? Through acknowledgement and connection, and through reverence for that story got you to where you needed to be for a certain amount of time so that you could survive very well in this world, so that you could look back and say, I've done that enough and I want to do it in a different way and I want to start to thrive. That's a very tricky space to be in, especially from an ego's agenda perspective, because as we're changing, people often notice the literal change. I moved from LA and now I'm in Massachusetts. That's literal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a metaphor or a symbolism in that too. What that represents to both of you is a lot more than the literal. If I painted a picture, if I showed you a picture of you two moving from LA to Massachusetts in a picture, and we sat down and I said, what does that picture represent to you? You both have so much more information that would come out of that.
Yes.
And that information is super important because we want to be able to acknowledge what that represents. And we also want to be able to acknowledge that parts of us feel or have an emotional experience of something else than what we want. It's scary, it's frightening, it's shattering of my life and my perspective and my stories and my direction. That those parts have to be coddled and connected with.
Mm-hmm.
And by continuing using the word I, what you're actually doing is you're pushing, at least from my perspective, you're pushing those parts of you away.
Wow. Yes.
So, I'm in Massachusetts and it's scary AF. And wow, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to let my little girl feel scared. And I'm just going to feel it. I'm not going to talk it. I'm just going to sit in a chair and I'm going to let myself and every cell feel scared and acknowledge that fear. From my perspective, our greatest fear as human beings is intimacy. Feeling your fear and allowing the space to do that is extremely intimate with yourself.
Yeah.
And we all, as a general theme, want to run from it through talking or moving or exercising or creating all the literal stories about whatever's going on. That's all deflection.